So with the infrastructure being laid for digital technology to reach everywhere, and people being trained at the local level in the local language, and softwares being provided which can translate everything in the local language, the initial inhibition which people had were all removed. And equally, the government's approach has been, normally when you scale up things, you scale up on the principle of, oh, this works well, so this needs to be scaled up. It has to be replicated. When you scale it up, you can replicate it for other areas as well. Whilst that philosophy is right and it is still adaptable for many activities, we also took this approach that many things will work only when it is scaled up. Like for instance, India has a lot of micro, small, medium industries. Each one has their potential, but they can never be aggregating themselves because they don't know how to do it, and who, after all, is going to carry the burden of having to link up with all of them. Technology came and helped. So you could give the advantage of the MSMEs, that which inherently by the description or definition of MSME, you can't scale them up. But technology helped in scaling them up. In a way, it compares with what in Japan the big corporations did post the Meiji Restoration and everything else. I'm sure you're all studying those socio-economic histories of different countries. Large companies did not manufacture everything themselves. They had very many small ancillary units. They wouldn't brand their product. They would be supplied to, let's say, a branded product. I'm just taking the name of Sony. I'm not misusing the name, but I'm quoting it. So what they would do is to have all these small units manufacturing so many different quality products, all of which will go into their, let's say, I don't know, Sony's Walkman and things like that are all gone away. Nowadays, you don't have them. But that's how. Then final product was Sony. Today, you don't need a brand helping you to do that. The open source network that Government of India has created as a public good is helping small and medium industries to do it. In the sense, I would have started off by saying how we could benefit from the scale that 1 billion accounts gave us. Once you reached with banking accounts to all the individuals in India, you had a 1 billion account, so you could see the scale of it and you can do many things. I would have started off by saying that. But it is relevant, and I'll say that very quickly, although I'm going in a different route to talk about how by scaling I'm giving advantage for those who couldn't have been otherwise scaled up. But the scale is what I used first as Government of India. You had 1 billion accounts, you had 1 billion identities, you had 1 billion mobile phones. So you had a fantastic basis for, a ground for scaling up, so you could do the direct benefit transfer to the accounts. You knew their identities, you knew their bank accounts. So you could give all the benefit schemes through technology to them, so that billion is the scale that gives you an advantage. The technology plays in there. But by bringing in the other one, for instance, the open network, digital network for commerce, ONDC, we've come up with a public good where the government has invested money, and it's created this huge big platform where small units can get onto that platform, find the buyers, find the sellers for their raw material or selling their products. It is a public good that I've created. I waited for the scale here and created a public good which can help me to transfer or to benefit people. But here, I already have all over the country a small, medium, actually a carpet of MSMEs, but who couldn't be strung together. So a public good in the name of ONDC was created. It's an open network for digital commerce. People can get onto it and trade, buy, sell, and therefore bring that advantage. Similarly, for credit expansion, we've used OCEN, and that helps in credit outreaches. We've also propagated this account aggregator, again using technology, where one set of data available of a particular customer or a client in a bank, with his permission, can be made available for another set of creditors or banks, and therefore this very client who's being serviced by a particular bank but sees that a better terms and condition exists elsewhere can now, without worry, on the net reach this bank, and this bank instantaneously, because the record is available digitally, can help giving credit. The account aggregator is actually getting banks and also credit to reach areas which couldn't have otherwise been so accessible. And when I say this, it's not just in the mainland. Sorry to use this expression, I don't know how many students here from Northeast India, pardon me for using this, but in the let's say northeast part of the country, you can always reach one place or the other. Just try doing it in Nagaland. Just try doing it in Mizoram. It takes, for a distance of about 200 kilometers, it takes more than 16 hours to reach. Not because there are no roads, roads are there, but because it winds and winds and winds through the hillocks, and reaching there takes that kind of time. No bank would want to physically be present. But today they get their services of banking because purely these kind of networks are available. So if network has helped us, digital networking has helped us in all these areas, equally it has helped us in making sure that tax collection is happening. Today, everything that India collects is through the digital networking. There are no inspectors visiting your office to say you have to pay up this much as per this rate, pay it. No. You can make your claim, you pay your assessments, you actually fight with the income tax department saying you've taken too much from me, you better refund. All that happens on the digital platforms. Appeals are on digital. Settlements are on digital. So if that is on income tax, direct tax that is, indirect tax, everything happens on the digital platforms. You service a customer, you give him a bill, your GSTN number is in the bill, you know how much of tax you've collected, it automatically goes to the pool and then gets redistributed to the states, which are, the provinces in the large country. So what gets collected is digitally serviced into the pool, and from the pool it goes to the states again digitally.